Mother Nature has a pretty wild imagination, and nowhere is that more obvious than in the world of flowers. While most of us are familiar with common stuff like tulips and daffodils, much more fantastical flora is hidden away in lush rainforests, bogs, and even deep underground. Some will make you happy, others might give you chills, but all will leave you questioning whether you're looking at a plant or something that belongs in another multidimensional world. Let's begin with Number 15. Naked Man Orchid. This flower doesn't wait until death to shock you. You won't believe this, but it turns heads the moment it blossoms, thanks to tiny figures that leave nothing to the imagination. In the sunny meadows of the Mediterranean, blooms an orchid that feels too outrageous to be real. It's filled with miniature human forms, complete with arms, legs, and anatomical features that'd make a Renaissance sculptor look twice. This bold orchid is native to Italy, Greece, and neighboring regions, and has been raising eyebrows for centuries. In local folklore, these human-like shapes are said to be meadow spirits, dancing to welcome spring. Ancient Greek physicians were so intrigued by it that they used it in traditional remedies for over 2,000 years. But here's the hard truth. This orchid is getting harder to find. Its sensitive habitat needs and vulnerability to climate shifts make each encounter rare. Today, every sighting is a special glimpse of one of nature's most playful and unexpectedly risque creations. We mean, just look at this human-like flower. Number 14. Darth Vader Flower. This thing looks like it escaped from a galaxy far, far away. It is found in the floodplains of Brazil, and it is so sinister it's nearly theatrical. The Darth Vader flower, or Aristolochia salvadorensis, looks like a skull or a science fiction helmet, luring insects by imitating decay. It forms a flawless death mask, complete with hollow eye sockets and an eerie translucence that lets light pass through like moonlight shining through bone. Some say it mirrors Darth Vader's ominous helmet, but if you look closer, the true terror appears. This is nature's most convincing skull. But this flower doesn't only resemble death, it survives by using it. The haunting shape isn't just visual, it's a biological trick crafted to deceive one specific target: flies. Attracted by what they think is decomposing flesh, carrion insects crawl across the flower's surface, unknowingly pollinating it. Those intimidating eye holes resembling Vader's mask are sophisticated death traps. Number 13. Snapdragon Skulls. Well, here's where things take a deliciously grim turn. You probably know snapdragons for their playful mouth-like blossoms, the ones that snap open when gently squeezed. But their real secret isn't in life. It's what happens after death. When these bright flowers dry out, their seed pods transform into flawless miniature skulls. Hollow eye sockets, grinning jaws, and bone-shaped silhouettes that look made for a Day of the Dead altar. The details are so precise that many think the photos are fake. They're not. Native to rocky terrain across the Mediterranean and Europe, snapdragons have been garden favorites for generations. But in the Middle Ages, it was their eerie afterlife that drew attention. People believed these dried death heads could repel witches and evil spirits, which is why dried stems were often hung indoors as charms. Even in full bloom, they're not playing around. Their complex flower structure demands strength, usually a bumblebee, to push inside, ensuring only capable visitors succeed. Number 12. Swaddled Baby's Orchid. Now let's talk about something unexpectedly gentle, yet still strangely human. Hidden in Colombia's Andes, nestled between moss-covered slopes and dappled light, blooms the swaddled baby's orchid. At first sight, it's nothing but just a glossy white flower. But look closer, and you'll notice a perfectly cradled baby wrapped in cloth, tucked inside the folds like a baby in a floral bassinet. and that's exactly where it gets its name. This rare bloom was found during a 10-year Spanish expedition from 1777 to 1788, though it wasn't officially classified until 1798. The orchid's unique hinged lip creates the illusion of a wrapped child, with its column and petal layout mimicking a tiny head and swaddle. But as we've seen, orchids love tricks. Once an insect ventures inside, the hinged lip gently closes, trapping it just long enough to dust it with pollen before releasing it. Locals view it as a symbol of fertility, birth, and luck, but it is cute. Number 11. Happy Alien Flower. That'll instantly brighten your day. Say hello to nature's most cheerful extraterrestrial visitor. In the windswept landscapes of Tierra del Fuego, a flower grows that looks like it wandered straight out of a children's cartoon. It glows bright orange with a radiant white smile that seems to say, "Take me to your leader. But first, let's be friends." What makes it even more fascinating is that Charles Darwin himself encountered this grinning alien during his legendary Beagle voyage in 1831. But that quirky smile isn't just for appearances. It's a survival masterpiece. In one of Earth's most unforgiving environments, where regular pollinators are almost non-existent, this clever plant uses its fake smile to trick birds. They mistake the white band for food, and when they peck, they become the flower's delivery crew, transporting pollen from one bloom to the next. In simple words, the Calceolaria uniflora is anything but ordinary. Number 10. Parrot flower. Just when you think you've already seen nature's boldest creations, this one takes it a step further, with color that fooled the entire internet. Tucked inside Southeast Asia's forests blooms what may be nature's most convincing avian impersonator. The parrot flower, aka Impatiens psittacina, doesn't just look like a bird, it fully transforms into one, with vivid wings spread wide and a curved beak frozen mid-air. Every bloom looks like a tropical parrot mid-flight, with flared petals forming wings and a tail trailing like fluttering feathers. Native only to northern Thailand, Myanmar, and parts of northeastern India, this spectacular flower is so rare that the Thai government forbids its export. But this mimicry has purpose. The flower's shape discourages herbivores by mimicking something they instinctively avoid: live animals. Its realism was once so questioned that early photos were dismissed as fabrications, until verified by botanists. It blooms briefly, just a few weeks between October and November, then fades again into the forest. Number 9. Flying duck orchid. From the cradle of innocence to one of nature's most convincing tricks, this next orchid doesn't just bloom, it gives the illusion of movement. The flying duck orchid looks like a duck frozen mid-flight, beak outstretched, wings pulled back, neck extended like it's gliding through the air. It's so lifelike, even seasoned botanists have done double takes. Native to the eucalyptus woodlands of Australia, this tiny flower measures barely half an inch, yet its silhouette is unmistakable. But this isn't just evolutionary whimsy. It's a trap crafted for seduction. The duck-like form is specifically designed to fool male sawflies, which mistake the flower for a female. When they attempt to mate, they become temporarily trapped inside the flower's beak and pick up pollen before escaping. What makes this flower even stranger is its complete dependence on a symbiotic underground fungus to survive. Without it, the orchid won't grow. Number 8. White egret orchid. It is quieter, but no less otherworldly. Found in the grassy wetlands of East Asia, the white egret orchid appears to freeze a bird mid-flight. Its flawless white petals unfold like feathered wings, while a slender central column becomes the elegant neck and beak. Known in Japan as sagiso, this orchid carries deep symbolic meaning. It's the official flower of Tokyo's Setagaya ward and often appears in traditional poetry and artwork. The likeness is astonishing. like an egret hovering in still air. But the design serves a purpose too. Those delicately fringed side petals act like stabilizers, giving hawk moths a surface to hover while feeding from its nectar chamber. Sadly, its wild populations are declining fast. Ongoing wetland destruction has pushed it toward endangered status across much of its natural range. Still, its elegance remains unforgettable. A living sculpture that's also a survival machine, merging grace and function in a single airborne gesture. Number 7. Batflower. We've seen orchids imitate faces, even babies. But not all floral illusions lean whimsical. Some embrace the dark, and none more boldly than this. In the shadowy layers of Southeast Asian rainforests grows a flower that looks like it came from a Gothic dream. The black bat flower, or Taka chantrieri, doesn't just hint at its namesake, it becomes it. Wide wing-like bracts stretch outward, while long filament-like whiskers dangle dramatically, some reaching up to 28 inches. These aren't petals, but modified leaves that conceal the real blooms hidden inside. The plant's deep purple-black coloring is more than theatrical, it's a survival tactic. In dim forest light, where every bit of brightness counts, the batflower's dark display draws in pollinators adapted to operate in near darkness. Standing up to 3 feet tall, it's impossible to miss in its natural setting. Despite its dramatic appearance and a nickname like devil flower, it's completely harmless. Number 6. Brain celosia. Get ready for one of the weirdest blooms in the botanical world, a flower that looks grown in a lab or lifted straight from the human skull. The brain celosia doesn't form normal petals. Instead, it creates tight, rippled flower heads, twisted into thick grooves and folds. The result is a bloom that looks like brain tissue or coral, with a velvet texture and hypnotic patterns. Originally from India but now cultivated worldwide, its structure isn't just for show. These convolutions increase surface area for nectar, making it a magnet for bees and butterflies. It thrives in bold reds, oranges, purples, and golds. In many parts of West Africa and Southeast Asia, the leaves are cooked like spinach, a common ingredient in soups and stews. Even better, a single ounce of seed can produce over 40,000 new plants, meaning it doesn't just look wild, it multiplies fast. From organic sculpture to kitchen staple, this brainy bloom manages both strange beauty and purpose. Number 5. Chinese lantern plant. From a flower that mimics a creature of the night to one that belongs in a lantern-lit festival, this next bloom doesn't just resemble celebration, it becomes it. As autumn arrives, gardens begin to glow with clusters that look like tiny paper lanterns in bright orange and red. But these aren't decorations. They're the fruiting husks of the Chinese lantern plant, aka Physalis alcakengi. Native to southern Europe, South Asia, and Northeast Asia, it's been cultivated for over 2,000 years. Its papery outer shell, called a calyx, expands and hardens around the fruit, creating a hollow globe that catches light beautifully. That glow isn't just ornamental. It signals birds to help with seed dispersal. The ripe fruit inside is edible and has a tart bite, often used in jams or dried as a snack. In Japan, it's a key part of the Bon Festival. All right, now let's move to Number 4. Hooker's lips. With a name like this, how could it not make the list? Hooker's lips might sound like a prank, but the flower is real and impossible to forget. Before it blooms, its bright red bracts fuse into a pouting shape so perfect it looks straight out of a cartoon, a bold red lip print waiting for a kiss. It's wild, dramatic, and yes, it once went viral. Native to the humid rainforests of Central and South America, especially Colombia, Costa Rica, and Panama, this strange bloom is actually a shrub. The lips aren't true petals, but colorful bracts that protect the tiny white flowers inside. The exaggerated shape and vivid red act as long-distance signals for butterflies and hummingbirds flying through dense jungle. It's flashy and effective. But popularity has come at a cost. Deforestation and overcollection have pushed hookers' lips toward endangerment. That viral photo you saw online? It may become one of the last chances to see it in its natural habitat. Number 3. Lobster claw. In the lush rainforests of Central and South America, this plant doesn't stand, it dangles. The lobster claw, or Heliconia rostrata, doesn't look like a flower at all. It resembles a crustacean tail dipped in red and gold. Its dramatic bracts layer downward in overlapping rows, resembling armor plates. But these aren't petals. They're leaves, designed to protect the tiny true flowers hiding inside. Each one holds a small reservoir of nectar, crafted with incredible precision for its ideal partner, the hummingbird. Over time, Heliconia species and hummingbirds have co-evolved in remarkable detail. The flower's shape, nectar placement, and even angle match perfectly with the bill length and feeding behavior of their chosen bird. Some lobster claws grow over 15 feet tall, with massive paddle-like leaves that gather and direct rainfall to the roots, an ingenious system for the rainforest's wet-dry rhythm. It's not subtle, but it's brilliantly built. Number 2. Lamprocapnos spectabilis. From twisted folds that echo the brain to something far more delicate and deeply human, the next flower doesn't overwhelm with complexity. It simply breaks your heart. The bleeding heart is instantly recognizable. Each bloom forms a flawless pink heart with what appears to be a single teardroplet hanging below, creating living poetry that's inspired endless tales and romantic legends. Native to the cool woodlands of East Asia, it was first introduced to Europe in 1810 and reintroduced in 1846 by Scottish botanist Robert Fortune, who found it thriving in Chinese gardens. The plant's arching stems reach up to 3 feet, with heart-shaped blossoms swaying gently in the breeze. What makes it even more remarkable is its short-lived bloom cycle. It flourishes in spring's chill, then vanishes completely as summer heat sets in, leaving only roots working silently underground for next year's return. Beyond its symbolism, it provides crucial nectar to early pollinators, a fleeting bloom, a vital role, and a heart that never fully closes. Number 1. Green bird flower. At first glance, you might think you've spotted a line of hummingbirds hovering mid-air. But take a second look. These aren't birds at all. This is the green bird flower, or Crotalaria cunninghami, one of Australia's most astonishing floral illusions. Each bloom mimics a small bird in flight, complete with curved wings, an extended beak, and a sleek body, rendered in vivid green with sharp black markings that finish the trick. But there's more here than meets the eye. Aboriginal Australians have used the plant for thousands of years, crafting sandals, nets, and even woven canvas from its strong fibers. The flower isn't just beautiful, it's deeply functional. Botanists still debate whether its bird-like shape evolved as mimicry to attract actual birds, or if it's just an incredible coincidence. Either way, when the plant is in full bloom, the illusion is jaw-dropping. A full stem lined with what appears to be emerald hummingbirds, frozen mid-hover. If you found this video interesting, be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching. We'll see you soon.